Mataji. Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandarika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and Gauranga. All glories to all the assembled devotees. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every day. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining, and all glories to your services. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every day. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. My name is Priyamvata Radha Priya Devi Dasi. I'm from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Priyamvada Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Welcome to the call. Please join us regularly. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashomati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yeshumati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji again. Today, it's nice to be wishing you twice today. So, yes, Dandot pranams to you, Dandot pranams to all devotees here, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sumi from Jersey City.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Nice to hear your name again, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. We have a couple more minutes. Did Prabhuji joined? Not yet. Okay. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Okay. I'll read the quote and wait for Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Conference call. Happy Ekadashi to everyone. Today is a special class, Advent of Bhagavad Gita by His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhuji. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read today's quote. December 11th. When we simply remember to accept the control of Krishna and to act independently, then all fortune is automatically present. Letter to Brahmananda, December 11th, 1968. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yeah, I think Prabhuji is not yet on the call. We can pause.
Shall we do introduction also?
No, Mataji, I don't have that ready. If Kirtida Mataji want to read, I can give it.
What you want me to?
Speaker introduction, Mataji, do you want to give?
That's okay. Everybody knows Hari Parshad Prabhu.
Okay.
It's not the first time that he's coming to our call.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
he's coming after 1 year for sure.
Yeah, last year also he only gave this class.
Mm. So yeah, still wait. Let's wait for Prabhu. In the meantime, we can chant.
Yeah, sure, Mataji, definitely. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji, nice to see you on this call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very nice to see you on the call, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I think you will start the recording from your side. Is that right, Prabhu, always? You do recording from
Krishna.
your side too, right?
Yeah, if it is possible, and if it is not possible, no worries. That's
No,
all
it
right.
is possible, Prabhuji. You first start recording and then I will press later. We'll stop this one, the one we did.
All right. Mm,
Still it
it is. It is. It is.
Now it is not showing because it did not stop. Yeah, now it stopped, Prabhuji. Now you can press and see. Now, Indu
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
can you press from our side too? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Once again, thank you so much, Prabhu, on this auspicious day of Advent of Bhagavad Gita. You are giving your association. We are very fortunate. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
1 minute.
Pro-
Hare Krishna Vinita Mataji, I cannot do it now because
Oh,
Prabhuji is already. So for me, it's showing either pause or stop.
no worries, Mataji. I'll take it from YouTube. That's fine.
Okay.
Let it record from Prabhuji's side too.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your association.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Thank you, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Thank you, all the wonderful devotees who are present here at Bhakti Sanga Japa group. I'm very thankful to each and every one of you who has kindly assembled here on this very auspicious occasion of Shri Mokshada Ekadashi. And in recent times, this tithi, this date has become known as the advent of Bhagavad Gita. So I'll try to speak something on Bhagavad Gita and Shri Krishna. But before I do that, I'd like to offer Mangalacharan auspicious invocations. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सह गणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। मोक्षदा तिथि की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता आविर्भाव तिथि महोत्सव की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Thank you very much once again, dear devotees, for kindly assembling here. I am very honored to be here at Bhakti Sanga Japa Conference, and I'm very thankful to Kirtida Sundari Mataji for kindly inviting me, to Vinita Gandharvika Mataji for kindly introducing me, to all of you wonderful devotees for kindly being present here today. Dear devotees, today is Mokshada Ekadashi. Moksha means mukti. Mukti means liberation from material existence. And Mokshada, because she is a lady, she is Mokshada. Ekadashi is a lady. So Mokshada, the Ekadashi which bestows moksha or liberation, is known as Mokshada Ekadashi. And it is also culturally considered to be the appearance day of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Although traditionally, if we look in the literature of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, such as Hari Bhakti Vilas, we do not find this tithi mentioned in any of our previous literature of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya or of any other Vaishnava Sampradaya. Yet at the same time, Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, he celebrated Bhagavad Gita appearance day in a few places when he was preaching. So therefore, since some of our own acharyas have celebrated it, for the same reason, we also celebrate it. I was told by some disciples of Srila Prabhupada that once Srila Prabhupada had celebrated the appearance day of Bhagavad Gita while he was traveling. So for this reason, we also celebrate it. But historically, uh, because the Hari Bhakti Vilas has many festivals within it, but historically, Bhagavad Gita appearance is not mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas or any other literature of the Vaishnava Sampradayas. But it is also a fact that the Leelas of Bhagawan are unlimited, and in every universe there is some or the other Leela of Bhagwan going on. And definitely in a certain universe, at this particular point of time, there is Bhagavad Gita being spoken by Bhagawan to his associates. Why I say associates? Because sometimes Bhagawan speaks Bhagavad Gita to Surya, and sometimes he speaks Bhagavad Gita to Arjun. Sometimes he may speak to somebody else. So it is mentioned in the Gita itself that Bhagavan spoke the Gita previously to Vivaswan, and then later he is speaking that same knowledge to Arjun. So in various universes, Bhagavan is performing various activities. From that broad point of view, we can say that today is appearance day of Bhagavad Gita. And dear devotees, it's a very nice day. We should have at least one day in the year celebrating Bhagavad Gita. And it is very nice that it falls in line with the book distribution marathons that go around throughout the entire month of December. So I'm very happy to speak on the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. And the Bhagavad Gita, dear devotees, is the song of the personality of Godhead. I'd like to share my screen. Bhagavad Gita is the song of the personality of Godhead, because this particular song, Gita, was manifested by the absolute personality, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. There are many aspects of the absolute truth. One aspect is the impersonal Brahman. Another aspect is localized Paramatma. And the highest aspect is known as Bhagavan. The Gita is known as Bhagavad Gita because when it comes to singing songs, it is not possible for a song to be sung by the Brahma aspect of the absolute truth. It is not possible that a song will be sung by the Paramatma aspect. Why? Because the Paramatma is Upadrashta and Anumanta. The Paramatma only performs the functions of overseeing the activities of the living entity and sanctioning the activities of the living entity. Other than that, the Paramatma just gives a few hints within the heart, gives a little guidance from within the heart, but the Paramatma has never been seen singing a song. So there is only one aspect of the Absolute which sings songs and which dances. And dear devotees, all of us know which aspect that is. That aspect is not Brahma, that aspect is not Paramatma, that aspect, dear devotees, is Bhagavan. Therefore, it is Bhagavan who manifested the Gita. So it is not known as Brahma Gita or Paramatma Gita. It is known as Bhagavad Gita because it is only possible for Bhagavan to sing a song. Brahma has no attributes. Brahma does not sing. Paramatma has very limited functions in the material world. So, correctly speaking, it is Bhagavan who has given this vast knowledge to us in the form of Bhagavad Gita. Now, dear devotees, even though it was Bhagavan who sung the Bhagavad Gita, there are many individuals who try to say that the ultimate message of the Gita lies in understanding the impersonal Brahman aspect. Therefore, dear devotees, Acharyas such as Sri Adi Shankaracharya and those who are following in his tradition, they have tried to show that the highest form or the highest manifestation of the absolute truth is the impersonal Brahman aspect. Certainly, the Vaishnav commentators have not taken this reading of the Gita and they differ in their opinion. Today, we will try to see about Bhagavan Shri Krishna and what is it in the personality of Shri Krishna that has attracted even the Advaitavadis, even those who are impersonalists, to the path of bhakti. But before we look into that, I'll begin with a quote by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, if any self-realized soul reads from Bhagavad Gita, he will never feel satiated. The narrations of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam may be read thousands and thousands of times, and still without fail, new aspects of the subject matter will be relished by the devotee. So in this way, dear devotees, the more we study Bhagavad Gita, the more we discover new aspects. Something to discover in the Gita is that the Gita was not narrated by Sanjay live. Often we think that the Gita was narrated live by Sanjay, but this is not the case if we look in the Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, it is described that Sanjay was on the battlefield for the first 10 days. Actually, Shri Vyasadev, he wanted to give Dhritarashtra the vision to see the entire battle. So before the battle began, Shri Vyasadev, his son is Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is one of his sons. So Shri Vyasadev went to Dhritarashtra and said, I will give you the potency by which you will be able to see the entire war. Do you wish to have that benediction? In reply, Dhritarashtra said, I was born blind and I could not see anything during my lifetime. Certainly at this point of time, I do not wish to see the destruction of my own family through my eyes. Kindly give this vision to Sanjay so that if needed, Sanjay will tell me about updates of the war. Now, Dhritarashtra was confident that as long as Shri Bhishma is personally standing in the battlefield, not even a single son of his will be killed. The Pandavas tried for 9 days to kill the Kauravas, but not even a single Kaurava son of Dhritarashtra was harmed. Then they understood that Bhishma is the personality who is standing between them and the 100 Kaurava brothers. So, dear devotees, they made a plan to shoot down Bhishma. And with the help of Shri Krishna, on the 10th day of the war, Bhishma fell on the ground on the bed of arrows. As soon as Bhishma fell on the 10th day, Sanjay returned back to Hastinapur and narrated everything to Dhritarashtra. For Dhritarashtra, it was as if the biggest tragedy in his life had struck, because he was thinking that Bhishma will never be killed. Bhishma is immortal. But even the immortal Bhishma was killed, or at least he fell down and was unable to fight any longer on the 10th day of the war. As soon as Sanjay narrated this, at that point of time, Dhritarashtra immediately asked Sanjay to narrate everything that had happened till that point of time. So Sanjay is narrating from the very beginning of the war, and then Sanjay in the Mahabharata Bhishma Parva, in the first 24 chapters, chapter 1 to chapter 24, he narrates the entire preparation of the war. And then in chapter 25 of Bhishma Parva of the Mahabharata comes the verse, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavah Mamakah Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Dear devotees, this is a very common verse that most of us have memorized. But even in this verse, we can find new meanings. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, in the place of religiosity named Kurukshetra. Samaveta Yuyutsavah. Samaveta means assembled. Yuyutsavaha means inclined to fight. But one Acharya says you can break it down in another way. Samaveta Yuyutsavaha can be taken as a single term. Samaveta Ayuyutsavaha. Samaveta means gathered. Ayuyutsavaha. Ayuyutsavaha means those who do not have Yuyutsu, the fighter Yuyutsu on their side. Samaveta Ayuyutsavaha. My sons were assembled and they did not have Yuyutsu on their side. Therefore, my sons are Samaveta Ayuyutsavaha. They are gathered, but Yuyutsu has left to the Pandav side. Just before the war began, Yuyutsu, he changed sides and went to the side of the Pandavas. So another meaning of Samaveta Yuyutsavaha is that my sons, Mamakaha, were assembled and they were without Yuyutsu. So in this way, every day we can find newer and newer meanings within the Bhagavad Gita. And these meanings bring deeper understanding of the Gita for each and every one of us who are trying to understand this Gita. Acharyas have glorified the Gita in so many ways. There is a very nice glorification of the Bhagavad Gita by an Acharya named Sri Venkatanath. He says in his glorification of Bhagavad Gita, in his introduction to his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, it's a very nice verse in the meter Mandakranta. I'll try to sing this verse. Jatasi tvam murahara mukha Jahnavi tasya padat Sarvan abhyudharati bhavati Satu magnan vidhatte Pratyak brahmamrita rasanidhyam Prapya vishramyasi tvam Matar gite jadanidhimayam Matinatvat prabhava. He compares Bhagavad Gita and the Ganga. He says, Jatasi tvam murahara mukhad. Oh, Mother Gita. In the last line, he will say, Matar Gite. Oh, Mother Gita. Jata asi. Tvam, you have appeared. Murahara mukhad. From the mouth of Bhagawan Murari. From the mouth of Bhagawan Shri Krishna. Jahnavi tasya padat. Whereas Ganga has appeared from his feet. So Gita, you have appeared from his mouth. Ganga has appeared from his feet. In the very beginning, the commentator is trying to show the superiority of Bhagavad Gita by specifying that its location is much higher than the location of appearance of Ganga. Another difference. Sarvan abhyudharati bhavati. And Gita, Sarvan abhyudharati bhavati. Bhavati. You deliver Sarvan, everyone in the world. You travel to every home to deliver people. But Satu Magnan Vidhatte. But Ganga delivers only who travel to her and who take a dip in her. So Ganga, for deliverance of people, she requires people to travel to her location and take a dip in her. But you, O Gita, you travel everywhere and you deliver everyone in the world. You are not localized as a river. Therefore, in this way, O dear Gita, O Mother Gita, you are superior to the Ganga. Pratyak Brahma Mritarasanidhim Prapya Vishramya Sitvam. And even if somebody compares you to a river, still a river finally ends up in the ocean. So if Gita, you are a river, you end up in which ocean? Pratyak Brahma Amrita Rasanidhim. In the ocean of nectar of the Supreme Personality. In the ocean of the ras, nectarian ras of the Supreme Truth, you end up. Oh Gita, if you are compared to a river, then you end up in the ocean of the nectarian ras of the Absolute Truth. But Matar Gita, or Mother Gita, Jananidhimayam. But that Ganga, she ends up in Jadanidhi. Jada means in the dull-headed ocean. Here da and la are interchangeable. So Jalanidhi becomes Jadanidhi. Dalayor abhedah. Jalanidhi mayam. Ganga ends up in Jalanidhi, in the ocean. But Jala is Jada. It is devoid of any intelligence. So Jadanidhi mayam. So Ganga ends up in the dull water ocean. Therefore, Matina Tat Prabhavas. Therefore, the Ganga can never match your glories. Your glories, O Gita, are much higher even than Sri Ganga Devi. Well, this is a very nice verse of glorification of Sri Bhagavad Gita by the commentator Sri Venkatanath in his introduction to his commentary. Dear devotees, even those who are attracted to impersonal Brahman aspect, even they agree that it is a foolish mistake to disregard the personality of Godhead who spoke the Bhagavad Gita. I would like to ask a question, dear devotees. When all of us became devotees, was it some person who came to us and made us a devotee, or was it the impersonal Brahman who knocked on our doors? And if you ask yourself this question, you will come to know that the impersonal Brahman cannot make anybody a devotee, because the impersonal Brahman does not have any capability to act by itself. Therefore, it is only a personality which can act and produce some changes in our life. The Gita was spoken by Krishna, and it is a foolish mistake to disregard Shri Krishna. Shri Madhusudan Saraswati was one of the most learned personalities in the history of the world. It is said about Shri Madhusudan Saraswati, Saraswatyah Vetti Param Madhusudan Saraswati. Madhusudan Saraswatya Param Vetti Saraswati. Only Madhusudan Saraswati understands the limits of knowledge of Saraswati Devi. And only Saraswati Devi understands the limits of knowledge of Sri Madhusudan Saraswati. He used to stay in Kashi, in Varanasi. And in his childhood, he wanted to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Sri Madhusudan Saraswati was also a Brahmin from Bengal. So he wanted to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his childhood. And in order to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Navadvip. But by the time he reached Navadvip, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already taken sannyas and gone to Jagannath Puri. So due to some unfortunate coincidence, he could not meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in person. But he was deeply influenced by the path of bhakti. Although he was an impersonalist, he was having deep inclinations towards Krishna bhakti. And he is considered as one of the most learned personalities in history. He is so learned and he is so well respected. His commentary on the Bhagavad Gita is so well received. Even Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, he refers to Sri Madhusudan Saraswati as Sri Madhusudan Saraswati Padah in the plural case, because plural case is given to denote respect. Adararthe bahuvachanam. So, in order to give respect to a personality such as Sri Madhusudan Saraswati, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has also quoted his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita and given respect by addressing him in the plural case. Sri Madhusudan Saraswati got such respect from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur because Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur knew that although he is an impersonalist, but still Sri Madhusudan Saraswati has deep inclinations for Krishna Bhakti. In his commentary to the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Madhusudan Saraswati writes, Pramanatopi nirnitam Krishna mahatmyamadbhutam na shaknuvanti ye sodham te mudha nirayam gata. Te mudha, there are some fools who cannot tolerate na shaknuvanti sodhum. What can they not tolerate? Krishna mahatmyam adbhutam, the wonderful glories of Shri Krishna. And these glories are not sentimental. Pramanatopi nirnitam. They are proven firmly by Shastra Praman, scriptures. Still, there are some people who are so dedicated to impersonalism that they disregard the personality of Shri Krishna altogether and consider Shri Krishna to be a material manifestation of the impersonal Brahman. That is a hellish thought. And Sri Madhusudan Saraswati says, Te mudha nirayam gata. Such fools are already fallen in a hellish state of life. Because Sri Madhusudan Saraswati knows the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that those impersonalists who consider themselves to be Jivan Muktas, but those who have disregard for the path of Bhakti and those who have disregard for Bhagawan, those impersonalists will certainly fall down from their status of Jivan Mukti and they will have to suffer through material existence again. So Sri Madhusudan Saraswati has understood this fact and therefore he says, there are some fools who even after hearing the words of the Bhagavad Gita, even after reading the title that it is Bhagavad Gita, it is not Brahma Gita, it is not Paramatma Gita, it is Bhagavad Gita. Still they want to remove Bhagavan totally and say that Brahma is the ultimate truth. And then these fools completely disregard the personality of Bhagavan. These people are definitely going to experience a hellish state of life in the form of coming back again to this material world. Sri Madhusudan Saraswati says, let all of these people meditate on that impersonal truth. But my mind is not attracted to that impersonal Brahman anymore. Sri Madhusudan Saraswati, again in his commentary to the Bhagavad Gita, he composes a wonderful verse dedicated to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. This verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. I'll sing this verse. ध्यानाभ्यास वशीकृतेन मनसा तन्निर्गुणं निष्क्रियम् ज्योतिः किञ्चन योगिनो यदि परं पश्यन्ति पश्यन्तु ते अस्माकं तु तदेव लोचन चमत्काराय भूयाच्चिरम् कालिन्दी पुलिनेषु यत्किमपि तन्नीलं महो धावति. Sri Madhusudan Saraswati says, Tan nirgunam nishkriyam jyotihi kinchana yogino. If the yogis, the impersonalists perceive the absolute truth as nirgunam, qualityless, nishkriyam, motionless, and impersonal effulgence. If somebody wants to perceive the absolute truth as the impersonal effulgence without any name, form, qualities, using their minds controlled by meditation, then pashyantute, let them perceive it in that way. I do not care. He says, asmakam, we, it's a royal we. Asmakam, for us, however, tadeva lochana chamatkaraya bhuyachiram kalindi pulineshu yat kimapitan nilam mahodhavati. But there is a personality sporting on Kalindi Pulin, on the banks of Yamuna, and with Neelam Maho, Maha Neelam, with a wonderful, extraordinary bluish effulgence. Then Chiram Bhuyat Lochana Chamatkaraya. May this personality dazzle our eyes for eternity. This is Sri Madhusudan Saraswati. Now, dear devotees, this verse looks like the utterance of a devotee, but who is externally in the sampradaya of Sri Adi Shankaracharya. There were many personalities in that time who were Vaishnavas but who took sannyas in the sampradaya of Sri Adi Shankaracharya. One such personality is Sri Ishwar Puri. He is a thorough Vaishnava. But by his surname Puri, it is one of the Dashanami, one of the 10 names given to sannyasis in the Shankaracharya Sampradaya. Not only Sri Ishwar Puri, but Sri Ishwar Puri's disciple, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is also in the sannyas lineage of Sri Adi Shankaracharya. In those days, it was very difficult to get sannyas in Vaishnava Sampradayas because you had to be affiliated for life with that Sampradaya in order to get sannyas in it. But in the Sampradaya of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the considerations for sannyas were not always so rigid, and sannyas would often be given to eligible candidates, even if they do not belong to that school fully. So this particular verse, let the yogis meditate on the impersonal Brahman. I don't care. I, however, meditate on that personality who has that bluish effulgence, and may that bluish effulgence dazzle our eyes for eternity. This verse is inspired from a previous verse, dear devotees. The previous verse is written by none other than Sri Ishwar Puri. And Sri Rupa Goswami quotes this verse by Sri Ishwar Puri in his Padyavali. And this verse also is in the same meter, Shardula Vikriditam. This verse by the spiritual master of Bhagawan, Sri Ishwar Puri, is a wonderful verse, and its influences are seen in the verse of Sri Madhusudan Saraswati that we saw just now. So now we will read the original verse by Sri Ishwar Puri. Yoga Shrutyupapatti Nirjana Vana Dhyanadva Sambhavita Swarajyam Pratipatya Nirbhayamami Mukta Bhavantu Dvija Asmakam Tu Kadamba Kunja Kuhara Pronmiladindivara Shreni Shyamal Dhama Nama Jushatam Janmastu Lakshavadhi. Shri Ishwar Puri says, Dvijaha, in the end of the second line he says, Dvijaha, let the twice born follow many paths. Yoga, let somebody follow Ashtanga Yoga. Shruti Upapatti, let somebody study the Vedas. Nirjana Vana, let somebody reside in the forest. Dhyana, let somebody perform meditation. Adhva, let somebody perform other sadhanas such as walking to pilgrimage places. Sambhavita, it is possible that through all these paths, Swarajyam Pratipadya, they may become liberated. Nirbhayamami Mukta Bhavantu, and they may enter the kingdom of fearlessness and become fully liberated from material existence. Let them become liberated. I don't care. What do you want, Sri Ishwar Puri? Asmakam tu, for us, however, Katam Bakunja Kuhara, in that thick Kadamba forest, in that thick kunja made of Kadamba trees, Pron Miladindivara, Shreni Shyamala Dhama, there is a particular personality whose body is like an abode of dark blue lotus. And it is radiating body. There is lavanya, radiating beauty in that body. Nama Jushatam. In Hindi, we will say, Naam chuste hue, Nama Jushatam. While relishing his name, Janma Astu Lakshavadhi. May we have millions of lives relishing that naam of that personality. This is the mood of Sri Ishwar Puri. And of course, it has inspired the mood of so many personalities in the Advaita Sampradaya. So in the Advaita Sampradaya, there became two divisions. One division took to the path of bhakti. Another division took to the path of Gyan for attaining the absolute truth. So even in the Advaita Sampradaya, there are some who are following bhakti and there are some who are following Gyan. So even today in the Advaita Sampradaya, there are some branches of the Advaita Sampradaya where bhakti is considered as very prominent. Although they want to ultimately merge in the absolute truth, but they will follow the path of bhakti in order to attain their final goal. Dear devotees, Sri Madhusudan Saraswati is helplessly attracted by Sri Krishna gradually. In his Gita commentary, he says, and this verse is in the meter Viyogini. It's a very nice meter, and I'll try to sing this meter. Ihayosti vimohayan mana paramananda ghana sanatana gunadosha bridesha evanas trinatulyo yadayam swayam jana. It's a very sweet meter. This meter is called Viyogini. This meter is found thrice in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shikshashtakam. Same meter. Na dhanam na janam na sundari kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktirahaitu ki tvaye. So Viyogini meter. Sri Madhusudan Saraswati says, Ihayosti vimohayan manam Paramananda Ghana Sanatana. Paramananda Ghana, this condensed form of supreme joy, Sanatana, our eternal Sri Krishna, is Vimohayan, Iha Asti Vimohayan Mana. He's in my heart and he's stealing my mind forcibly. And now Sri Madhusudan Saraswati says, it is he who is responsible for all my qualities and faults. Guna dosha bhrideva esha eva. He is responsible for my qualities and faults. In one way, he's pointing to the Upanishad statement where it says, Eshahu eva sadhu karma karayati tam yam ebhyo lokebhyo unninishate. Eshahu eva asadhu karma karayati tam yam adhoninishate. That it is Bhagawan who makes a person rise up and it is Bhagawan who makes a person go down. But on another level, he's considering himself in a personal relationship with Bhagawan. And he's saying that Bhagawan, you stole my mind. Now, the mind is the source of all good and evil. So since you have stolen my mind, so all the good and evil is also belonging to you now because my mind belongs to you now. So on a personal level, he is appealing to Bhagavan that now my mind is yours. All the good and bad qualities are also yours because my mind is yours. And without this mind, Trinatulyo yadayam swayam jana. An ordinary living entity such as myself is as insignificant as a blade of grass. It will be carried here and there with the wind of Maya. So since you have stolen my mind, Bhagavan, the good and the bad qualities of mind will also go with the mind. So they belong to you now, Bhagavan. So this is his Sharanagati. This is his statement of surrender to Bhagavan in the mood of bhakti. Dear devotees, Sri Madhusudan Saraswati therefore gives a very strong conclusion in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita. To all the impersonalists, he says very clearly, Yad bhaktim na vina muktir yah sevyah sarva yoginam tam vande paramananda ghanam shri nandanandanam. In his commentary to the first verse of the 7th chapter of the Gita, he says, Yad bhaktim na vina muktir. Without his bhakti, there is no mukti, no possibility of any sort of liberation. If somebody is studying the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, the Shastra, Vedanta, and they don't understand Vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyah Vedanta krit Veda videva chaham. If they don't understand that Bhagawan is the personality who is to be understood, who is to be served, who is to be worshipped, yad bhaktim na vina muktir. Bhaktim vina, yasya bhaktim vina muktir na bhavati. Without his bhakti, there is no possibility of mukti. Yah sevyah sarva yoginam. न केवल भक्ति योगी नाम अपितु सर्व योगी नाम. He is to be worshipped by all the yogis, not only bhakti yogis, but all the yogis. Tam vande paramananda ghanam. I worship that concentrated form of the highest joy, Sri Nanda Nandanam. There is alliteration here. Paramananda ghanam Sri Nanda Nandanam. So I worship that concentrated form of absolute joy, who's the son of Nanda Maharaj, who's playing in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. This, dear devotees, is the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. That the Bhagavad Gita is a place where the true Advaitavadi, the true impersonalist, also finds his bhakti. This is actually a true impersonalist, because that impersonalist who disregards Bhagavan, that impersonalist who disregards bhakti, is not actually truly following the path of impersonalism. Because yad bhaktim na vina muktir. If you don't get the final result, then sthula tushavaghatina, you are just like beating the empty husk. There is no point of studying Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, or Upanishads if you don't achieve the final goal of liberation or mukti. But that mukti, na bhaktim vina, will not be achieved without his bhakti. So even those who want to achieve impersonal liberation, they also have a compulsory subject in their syllabus, and that subject is Bhagavad Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti. And we can show this verse by Sri Madhusudan Saraswati to all those who are followers of the path of impersonalism and who disregard the personality of Sri Krishna. We can say that the foremost amongst the impersonalists had said very clearly, Yad Bhaktim na vina muktir. There is no liberation without his bhakti. And Yah Sevya Sarva Yoginam. So all yogis should worship and they should render devotion unto Bhagavan Shri Krishna. This is the mood of Sri Madhusudan Saraswati, a personality like Sri Madhusudan Saraswati. Dear devotees, in the Gita itself, Bhagavan makes a very important statement. And this statement made by Bhagavan is proof of the fact that he is the highest truth. In the Gita, Bhagavan makes a statement. He says, Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. And the translation is, I am the pratishtha, I am the support, I am the basis, I am the foundation, I am the substratum of the impersonal Brahman. Pratishtha. Pratistha, which means I am the foundation, the substratum, the basis, the support of the impersonal Brahman. The devotees, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a section named Brahmananda Valli. And in the Brahmananda Valli, there is a statement, Brahma Puchham Pratishtha. The meaning of this statement is that the impersonal Brahman is the Puchha Pratishtha, is the support of all the joy of all the existence in this world. In the Brahmananda Valli, it is said Brahma Puchham Pratishtha. Brahma is the Puchha Pratishtha, is the supporting cause of all existence in this world. But dear devotees, in the Gita, the statement after that is found, Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. I am the pratishtha of Brahma. I am the support of Brahma. So ultimately, Bhagavan is the support of the impersonal Brahman. This very simple statement, if it is misunderstood by us, then we have misunderstood the entire purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. It is Bhagavad Gita, not Brahma Gita. Bhagawan is the pratishtha of the impersonal Brahman. Otherwise, the impersonal Brahman should have spoken the Gita. So Bhagawan is the ultimate support even of the impersonal Brahman. Commenting on this, Srila Sridhar Swami, who also is in the Sampradaya of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, but who is a Vaishnava, devout Vaishnava, he explains this verse in his Sumodhini commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. He explains Krishna's words. He says, Ghani Bhutam Brahma Eva Aham. I am condensed Brahman, Krishna is saying. I am that condensed form of Brahma. Yatha Ghani Bhutah Prakasha Eva Surya Mandalam Tadvadityartha. Just as the sun globe is condensed light, similarly, I am condensed Brahman. This is the mood of Sri Krishna. Dear devotees, in other words, Srila Sridhar Swami is saying that Brahma is like a ray of light in front of Bhagawan, who is like the sun. This is the very clear conclusion of Srila Sridhar Swami. And Srila Sridhar Swami appeared much before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, this understanding of Bhagawan aspect being superior to Brahma aspect is right there in the Gita. And this is the central message of the Bhagavad Gita. That you have to surrender unto the personality of Bhagavan. So dear devotees, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Brahma puchha pratishtha. That Brahma is like the pratishtha of the entire universe, of the entire existence. But Brahma's pratishtha is Bhagavan himself. There's a very nice verse by the Vaishnava commentator Sri Harisuri in his commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says in his commentary to the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that in the 8th chapter, there is a particular verse which describes how Krishna, when he started playing around, he held on to the tail of a calf, and the calf would drag him, everywhere. So our commentator Sri Harisuri says there's a very deep meaning behind this. And what is the deep meaning? He specifies in his verse. And this verse I will share. It is in Devanagari, but I will translate it in English. He says, Shrishte purvamutottaram yadatha madhye tatantepyasa ekaiva shruti chodita mama gater yad brahma puchhastiti tatsam pratyapitam vihaya vihriter naivochite te prabhu puchhalambanatascha kimaho swakridanarambhanam. Shri Harisuri says, Shrishte purvamutottaram yadatava madhye. In the beginning of creation, in the end of creation, in the middle of creation, ekaiva shruti chodita. The scriptures declare very boldly, mama gatir, how I am, what is the absolute truth. And what do the scriptures say? Brahma puchha sthiti, Brahma puchha pratishtha. That Brahma is the foundation. But puchha has another meaning. Puchha also means tail. Tat sampratyapitam vihaya vihrite naivochiteti. So now that I have appeared as Shri Krishna, I should not give up my status as puchha pratishtha. Therefore, Bhagavan, in order to maintain his timeless status as Puchha Pratishtha, our Bhagwan Sri Krishna also took hold of Puchha, of the tail of a cow, and showed to the entire world that even when I appear personally, I am Puchha Pratishtha. I am sheltered in the tail of a cow. Dear devotees, in this way, the Bhagavan aspect is much more sweeter in the Bhagavad Gita than the Brahma aspect. And this entire nectar of Bhagavad Gita was received by the most fortunate personality, Sri Arjuna. Dear devotees, no discussion on Bhagavad Gita can be complete without discussing the first receiver of the Bhagavad Gita. The first receiver of the Bhagavad Gita could have been anybody in the battlefield, and Sri Vyasadeva would have recorded it, and Sanjay would have narrated it. But the first receiver of Bhagavad Gita in the battlefield was Sri Arjun. The reason is because Bhagawan himself will say, Bhakto asi me, because Arjun, you are my devotee. Well, Krishna, there are so many other devotees. Isn't Bhishma your devotee? But Sakha Cheti, Bhakto si me Sakha Cheti. Bhishma is my devotee, but he considers himself my servant. Arjun, you are my friend. In this entire battlefield of millions of warriors, your Bhakti Ras is the highest. Think about this, dear devotees. In the entire battlefield, the highest Bhakti Ras, Sakhya Ras, was with Arjun. Therefore, Arjun was selected by Bhagavan Shri Krishna to be the first receiver of Shri Bhagavad Gita. Dear devotees, one of the commentators on the Bhagavad Gita, Daivagya Surya Pandit, he composes a wonderful verse to describe the fortune of Arjun. This verse is in the meter Sragdhara. I'll try to sing it, dear devotees. Acharya santi kutra yati vimala diyo veda shastra gamanam dushprapastavadaste trijagati nitaram atma tattvopadeshtam evam satyarjunasya bhuta vikalavato varnyate kinnu bhagyam yasya acharyasya heto swayam upanishadam arthamavirbabhuva. Acharya santi kutrapi ati vimala dhiyo veda shastra gamana. Acharyas who explain Veda, Shastras, Agamas, Tantras are rare. Such intelligent acharyas are very rare to be found. But rarer than that, dushprapas tavadaste, trijagati, in the three worlds, it is extremely rare to find an acharya who will teach Atma Tattva Upadeshta, who will teach truths related to self-realization. So Vedic knowledge, many acharyas will teach, grammar, jyotish, etc. But extremely rare is to find an acharya who will teach the science of moksha, self-realization. Evam sati, this being the case, Arjunasya adbhuta vikalavato varnete kim nu bhagyam. What should be said about the extreme good fortune of that grieving personality named Arjun? Yasya acharyasya heto, because for him who became acharya, Swayam Upanishadam Artham Avirbabhuva, the conclusion of all the Upanishads and Shastras manifested personally as his Acharya. Dear devotees, the Shastras which are known as Shabda Brahma, their personification, Para Brahma, became the Acharya of Arjuna. What more should be said about the good fortune of Arjuna? Arjuna received Shabda Brahma directly from Para Brahma. Nobody else had that good fortune that Arjuna had. And the only reason specified in the Bhagavad Gita for Arjun receiving the Bhagavad Gita, the only reason which came from Krishna's mouth for Arjun receiving the Bhagavad Gita is not Shishyo Sime, is not that you are my disciple. No. Bhakto Sime. Not only are you a disciple, you are also my devotee. And not only are you a devotee, because Bhishma is also devotee. Sakha Cheti. You are also my friend. You are situated in Sakhyaras. And since you are situated partially in Sakhyaras, therefore I will give you the Bhagavad Gita. And this Bhagavad Gita was heard not only by Arjun, it was also heard by Sanjay. And some authorities say it was also heard by Sri Hanuman, who was on atop the flag on the chariot of Sri Krishna. And this chariot, and Sri Hanuman was on top of that chariot. And after the Gita was spoken, after the entire war was over, Sri Hanuman personally came to Sri Krishna and said, I heard Bhagavad Gita. Not only Arjun, I was there on top of the chariot. I heard Bhagavad Gita. I have a desire to write a commentary and explain this literature. So Sri Krishna replied to him, that's all right, but I don't want to spoil your status as being a dedicated devotee of Sri Ram. If you render a service to me, your exclusivity of seva to Sri Ram may get hampered. So I don't think it is recommended to write a commentary on the Gita. But Sri Hanuman, being a devotee, outsmarted Bhagawan by saying, Bhagawan, I will find a way. So Sri Hanuman entered into a subtle body, and through that subtle body narrated his commentary to a Brahmana. And since a subtle body is known as Pishach, therefore his commentary became known as Paishach Bhashyam. This commentary is available today, and it is one of the many commentaries that was published in the previous century. Dear devotees, in this way, many acharyas and great personalities have written commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita. But the central message of Gita is that Gita is the message of a person, and that person is the highest aspect, not aspect, is the highest, most complete representation of the absolute truth. All others are aspects, but Bhagavan is the highest representation, the highest manifestation, the topmost fruit from the tallest tree of the absolute truth. And this Bhagavan is our Nanda Nandan. This Bhagavan is our Sri Krishna. And this Bhagavan is the personality whom we consider as our own. Dear devotees, it is this Bhagavan who we Gaudiya Vaishnavas eagerly wish to see back in Sri Vrindavan. For us, more important than Bhagavad Gita is that Bhagavan follows his words in the Bhagavad Gita. That Bhagavan follows his own teachings in the Bhagavad Gita and becomes truthful and returns back to Sri Vrindavan, because he had promised, I will come back. And according to the Gita, the characteristics of a person who is learned is that he speaks the truth. He does not speak lies. Bhagavan, you are Acharya, and an Acharya is one who shows by example. So Bhagavan, we Gaudiya Vaishnavas pray to you. When will you follow your own word and come back to Sri Vrindavan? Dear devotees, with this, I'll pause my speech. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit. If there's any mistake in what I said, certainly I am a person full of 4 defects. But whatever mistake there was, vidvamsa, your learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct those mistakes. But yadatra saushthavam kinchit. If there's anything nice, please remember, tad guroreva. It belongs to my Gurujanas. Me nahi, it doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Krishna, Bhagwan Shri Krishna ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Jai, Hare Krishna. This is Hari Parshad Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for the excellent session, for establishing the personal feature of the Supreme Lord and giving so many references from the Shastras. Prabhuji, I have one question. You mentioned that Sanjaya spoke after 10 days when Bhishma was, basically he fell down. And you also mentioned about the first verse, one of the meaning is Yuyutsa, Samaveta Ayuyutsava. That Dhritarashtra was referring that Yuyutsava who went on the other side. How to understand that Dhritarashtra, how did he come to know that Yuyutsava has went on the other side of the party? Because it happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. I was just curious to know.
No, the exchange was made before the conches were about to be blown. Because once the conches are blown, the battle will begin. So the final chance to exchange one's position is much before that. And then Sanjay narrated to him that Yuyutsu defected.
Oh, okay. So after that, he asked.
Yes.
Okay.
So Samaveta Ayuyutsava.
Yeah.
So that is the name.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Sushmita Mataji, please, you can take over, Mataji, and you can conduct question and answer sessions.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice glorification, Prabhu. Thank you. Do you have time, Prabhu? Can you take some highlights?
I have all the time, Mataji.
Thank
There
you.
is no problem. All right.
Thank you. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or realization, please raise your hand. Yeah, I can see some hand raises. Yeah. Sudevi Mataji, would you like to go ahead, Mataji?
Mataji, go from top. Those who have raised hand first, it's Bishwadeep Roy.
Oh, okay, Mataji. Please, Prabhu, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for
Pranam.
such a class. And it was a class full of glorification. So nice to have such a class in a day. Prabhuji, I have two questions. My first question is that we know there are three Paramatmas, and the just yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, yes, we know that we there are three Paramatmas. So the three Vishnus are the function of Vishnu, the three Vishnus to be the Upadeshta and Anumanta, considered as Paramatma because the three Vishnus can also speak, right? And they can also sing song. So
Right.
how do we consider this fact? Understand
Right.
it.
So there are three Paramatmas, Vishnostu त्रीणि रूपाणि पुरुषाख्यान्यथो विदुः एकं तु महतः स्रष्टृ द्वितीयं त्वण्ड संस्थितं तृतीयं सर्वभूतस्थं तानि ज्ञात्वा विमुच्यते. Sri Rupa Goswami quotes in Laghu Bhagavatamritam, Vishnostu त्रीणि रूपाणि. Bhagawan has three forms, Purushakhyani, they are known as Purusha. All three are Paramatmas. Ekam tu Mahatah Srashtr. One is the creator of Mahat Tattva, Karanodakashayi Vishnu. He is the Paramatma of the entirety of material creation, Ekpad Vibhuti. Dvitiyam Tvanda Samsthitam. Second is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, the Paramatma of every individual universe. Tritiyam Sarva Bhutastham. Third is Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, who is the Paramatma of every atom and every living entity. Tani Gyatva, knowing these three, Vimuchyate, one gets liberated. But when Bhagavan is speaking in the Gita as his function of Paramatma, he is speaking about which Paramatma? So he is speaking about the third Paramatma as Upadeshta and Anumanta. So he is not speaking about his function as Karanodakashayi or Garbhodakashayi. So he is speaking specifically about his situation within the heart. And this situation is also described in the Shrutis. Dvasuparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vriksham parishashvajate. There are two birds on the tree. One bird is simply the witness. And this tree is Pippal tree. Tayoranayoh pippalam swadayati anasnan anashnan anayorabhichakashiti. This is a Pippal tree. Pippal tree, the fruits, some fruits are sweet, some fruits are bitter. So the bird who eats sometimes gets positive, it's the living entity who sometimes enjoys good results, sometimes suffers bad results. But the other bird is simply Anumanta Upadrashta. Upadrashta and Anumanta. That is the function being spoken of here. So that Paramatma did not speak. Garbhodakashayi will not speak to Arjun because Arjun is not standing in front of Garbhodakashayi. Arjun is standing in front of Shri Krishna. Karanodakashayi will not speak because for hearing Karanodakashayi, Arjuna has to come out of the universe. So it is only the Kshirodakashayi function which was mentioned in the Gita itself. So I hope that clarifies your doubt. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one more small question. Can I ask now?
Sure.
Prabhuji, if we consider the tentative dates, even if not the exact, then should we consider that Bhagavad Gita was spoken at this time, or we also considered that Bhishma Dev passed away after Bhishma Panchak.
Right,
So,
right, right.
which one should be considered?
Right. First thing is, one thing I want to tell you. The term Gita Jayanti itself is in conflict with Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding, because Jayanti is only
Yes.
used for Sri Krishna's appearance. You know this fact that in Hari Bhakti Vilas it is specified Ashtami Krishna Pakshasya Rohini Riksha Samyuta Bhavet Praushtapade Masi Jayanti Nama Sasmrita. Only the 8th Tithi of Krishna Paksh of Bhadrapad Mas, if it is in conjunction with Rohini Nakshatra, then it is known as Jayanti. To you, and Sri Jiva Goswami has said in the Bhakti Sandarbha, Naivam kasyapi avtarantarasya kasyapi va anyasya avirbhav dinam Jayanti akhya prasiddham ati prasiddham yatha Shri Krishnasya. The appearance of any other personality is not to be known as Jayanti. Only Shri Krishna's appearance is famous as Jayanti. So this he has said it clearly in the Sandarbhas, Sri Jiva Goswami. So while the very name Gita Jayanti is in conflict with Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. So we know that this name has not been given by any Gaudiya Vaishnava or anybody who understands the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. Nowadays it is popular trend to name any appearance day as Jayanti. So, uh, and also it is not mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that today is Gita Avirbhav or anything like that, Gita Prakatya or appearance of Gita. It is not mentioned. So when you select such a date for appearance of Gita, obviously it is going to make such a big contradiction, because we know Bhishma Dev passed in Uttarayan. Uttarayan is now still months away. So what is going to happen till this time, all these days? Battle ended in 18 days. Gita is spoken. If Gita is spoken today, battle will end in 18 days. A few days of instruction to Yudhishthir. Bhishma has to leave. And then how will it match the fact that Bhishma, Uttarayan? So this fact came up because this tradition of celebrating Gita Jayanti started mainly with the Shankaracharyas. And recent Shankaracharyas, not only very ancient, recent Shankaracharyas. Because the recent Shankaracharyas, all of India started celebrating it. Because all of India started celebrating it, so we also started celebrating it. But actually, it should not be known as Gita Jayanti. And we can call it Gita Avirbhav or something like that. But it cannot be called Jayanti, because that is purely against Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding. So how do we resolve that? If you ask me to resolve that, the Shankaracharya also tried to resolve it. There was Shankaracharya of Kashi, his name was Swami Karpatri. He wrote a book about it, and that was Gita Jayanti and Bhishma Utkranti. So
Yes.
that book also, I got a copy of that book. I'll share my screen. And there is an entire thesis dedicated to how to, what gymnastics you have to do in order to um, resolve both the dates. So this book, Gita Jayanti or Bhishma Kranti, how to settle this issue of Gita and the leaving of Bhishma and Uttarayan. So it requires an entire thesis, and that this thesis is more than 50 plus pages. So if you want, I can send it to you. But even after reading it, the whole thing is you are accepting Gita appearance as a day which is not technically mentioned by the previous acharyas. So all the mathematics that you are doing in order to harmonize both the dates is ultimately may not be rooted in tradition. So that is the answer to your query. All right.
Thank you. It's clear.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for nicely explaining it. I can see one hand raised from Neelachala Prabhu. Would you like to go ahead? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Neelachala
Sorry.
Chandrika Devi.
Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry.
Thank you, Prabhuji. You said that Arjun had the highest rasa with Krishna, which is Sakhya. So what about Yudhishthir? He had Vatsalya. How will we understand that then? It could be that Yudhishthir had
Yudhishthir had Vatsalya? Is it mentioned
means
somewhere?
no, he had Vatsalya Ras mixed with Sakhya for Krishna because he was elder brother. Is it so?
I think they had Sakhya, and that is, Sambram. Sambram means it is mixed with a feeling of, being a das. It is not exactly
Okay.
Vishram, but the variety that it is found uh, in Sri Vrindavan. So,
Okay.
and uh, another fact is that Arjuna and Krishna are also related previously as Nar and Narayan. So they are also very close from that point of view.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Sakhya which exists between Arjun is of the greatest variety, is of the most intense variety in the entire battlefield. Sri Rupa Goswami in his Padyavali has specified that there are 9 devotees uh, who 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 attained perfection through 9 processes. And in Sakhya Ras, Sri Rupa Goswami quotes Arjuna. This is in Chaitanya, this is Padyavali, but it's also quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sakhya Arjuna. You can see here Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.136. Srila Prabhupada translates, and Arjun attained perfection simply by being Krishna's friend. So all the highest examples are being quoted here. So obviously, in Sakhyaras, Arjun's inclination is the topmost. So that is the answer to that. Also, secrets are usually revealed to friends before they are revealed to parents. That is also out of it. Even if somebody says that Yudhishthira has a mix of, I I wouldn't go in that direction, but still to speak a secret to Sakha is the first line of thought that anybody will take
Yeah.
rather than speaking to
Yeah.
parents. That is the answer to it.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So Vatsalya is Yudhishthira does not have any trace of Vatsalya. Is it what else? What else sort of?
As far as I have heard, they are they have Sakhya towards Bhagawan, and a mixture of Sakhya and Dasya is also present within them, because Shuddha Vatsalya, as it is found in Mother Yashoda, that Vatsalya is not to be found in and also in the actions of Yudhishthir, you will not see any trace of Vatsalya. Have you seen any trace of Vatsalya in the actions of Yudhishthir towards Krishna?
I can't recollect.
Yeah. So there is no manifestation of such a ras in the activities of Yudhishthir. At least, I have not seen any manifestation of that in the activities of Yudhishthir. When Krishna was present in the sacrifice of Yudhishthir Maharaj, and Yudhishthir Maharaj did not treat him as a parent. Yudhishthir Maharaj basically treated him as Bhagawan, himself as Das, but he also has a mixture of some Sakhya with Bhagawan. So that is. But the intensity of Sakhya is highest in Arjun, because Arjun keeps his hand sometimes on Krishna's shoulder. Arjun, sometimes cracks jokes with Krishna. Yudhishthir, being Dharmaraj, has his limitations. So that is the answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Gail Mataji, would you like to go ahead? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you for a fascinating class. Yeah, two things. One is in line with in this vein of Arjuna's rasa with Krishna. I'm trying to reconcile the fact that Arjuna represents all of us jivas, right? Yet we are sadhakas for the most part. So in what way does Arjuna actually represent us? Is it because we have the potential to have that intimate friendship with Krishna, even though that's not the case yet? So if Arjuna is Krishna's very dear friend, and we are simply sadhakas, how does Arjuna actually represent us?
How does Arjuna actually represent us? Arjuna represents us because there is that verse, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandana. I'll share that verse. Prabhupada quoted it in his introduction. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. The Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all Upanishads is just like a cow, and Lord Krishna, who's famous as a cowherd boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf, and learned and scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita. So, what was given to Arjuna is like the milk given to a calf, but the calf doesn't drink the entire milk. The remaining milk is consumed by intelligent humans. So, similarly, Arjuna is not here exactly spoken of as a representative, but as a via medium to deliver the Bhagavad Gita to the rest of humanity and to all the jivas. So this is how the previous acharyas have seen him.
But I mean, don't we commonly hear, just like we commonly hear that this is Gita Jayanti, maybe it's like that. Don't we commonly hear that?
Yeah. We commonly hear that Arjun is the representative of all the living entities on the battlefield. That obviously is the truth. Arjun is, he is there, but uh, uh, more importantly, Arjun himself was also in a dilemma at that point of time. So Arjun is not simply playing the role of an actor. Arjun was actually put into a dilemma at that particular point of time. And that is how some acharyas see it, that Arjun represents the living entity who is put in a dilemma. I understand that is also a fact. But at the same time, Arjun also had his own personal dilemma. And that personal dilemma is different for different living entities. Arjun's personal dilemma was different, and our personal dilemma may be different. But the Bhagavad Gita gives answers to all various sorts of dilemmas because Arjun became a via medium to give that message to the rest of humanity. So that understanding is also accepted. But the understanding which was given first by Sri Adi Shankaracharya was that Arjun is the via medium of deliverance of the message to all of us. So both understandings are okay in that particular, uh, in their particular respect.
So you're saying that the way in which Arjuna represents us is one that Arjuna was in dilemma and we are having our own dilemmas.
Own dilemmas, yeah.
Yeah, and the other way is that he is the via medium through which we receive the instructions.
Yeah.
So, and our dilemmas are, what that we individually face is what our actual dharma should be. Is that what is referred to as our dilemmas?
No, different living entities have different dilemmas. Some living entity have fallen away from the path of dharma. They are in a dilemma as to how can they again regain their dharma. Some living entities do not know what is their dharma. Some living entities are situated on dharma, but they want to progress ahead. How can I further walk on the path of my dharma? So everybody's situation is not like Arjuna. But the Gita is given through the via medium of Arjuna, and it can help everybody in their respective situations.
Okay, that's clear, Prabhu. And when you said that, well, we see our situation as Adi Shankaracharya describes it, since he was an impersonalist, right?
Yes.
So then why should his perspective be legitimate for us as Vaishnavas?
So just because he's an impersonalist doesn't mean that all his perspectives are to be set aside. His perspectives regarding the oneness of Jiva and the impersonal Brahman are to be set aside. But when he is speaking on perspectives that are common between Vaishnavas and his Sampradaya, then we accept those perspectives.
Okay, all right. I just thought it was a little strange that because he's not like an acharya for our Sampradaya. So I thought it was strange that we would
No. He may not be an Acharya in our Sampradaya. But in our Sampradaya, we have respect for all the Acharyas who are speaking the Vaishnava conclusion, who are speaking the proper conclusion from Shastra. If an Acharya speaks a proper conclusion in one particular field, we will accept that particular conclusion. Srila Prabhupada quotes Sri Adi Shankaracharya. I will, I will share my screen. This is in purport to Srimad Bhagavatam 239. Sripad Adi Shankaracharya has stated, Narayana Paro Vyakta, the Supreme Lord is beyond the material encirclement. Now, Mataji, you tell me why is Srila Prabhupada quoting and accepting a statement from Sri Adi Shankaracharya?
Well, I guess it would be because of what you just said. I'm just trying to read what you highlighted here. You said Sripad Shankaracharya.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll share it again. Yeah.
Okay. Sripad Shankaracharya has also stated that Narayana Paro, the Supreme Lord, is beyond the material encirclement. Okay, so you're saying he would make that quote because it's in alignment with our Vaishnava Acharya.
Yeah, of course. That is, or even if it is neutral to us, it doesn't harm our siddhantas. It doesn't harm our conclusions. We can still quote it. There's no problem in that.
Okay, but one last thing, different topic is back to the fact that Sanjay was, he did not narrate the events of the battle in real time. I think that's how right? So he started from the 10th day. Is it?
Yeah, he came back on the 10th day to Dhritarashtra. And then Dhritarashtra asked him to narrate from the very beginning. And he narrated all the events from the beginning of the preparations of the battle. And that took up around 24 chapters in the Mahabharata. So we don't know how much time it took with Dhritarashtra, but in the Mahabharata, it spans 24 chapters. And from the 25th chapter, the Bhagavad Gita starts.
Oh. Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita then, does that mean that that the Gita starts on the 11th day?
No, the Gita started on the very first day of the war. But Sanjay was present there. He heard it. And when Bhishma fell down, he returned to Hastinapur to Dhritarashtra and narrated it in past tense.
Okay, I think I'm just going to have to listen to the recording because there's something that I'm getting confused about with this 10th day where he, Sanjay left the battlefield after the 10th day, no?
Yeah.
Because in my confusion is because the battle lasted for 18 days.
Yeah. So Sanjay, on the 10th day, Bhishma fell. And then Sanjay returned back to Dhritarashtra and told him. And Dhritarashtra told him, narrate me everything that happened in those 10 days. And then Sanjay narrated everything. And the first 24 chapters are preparations of war. The 25th chapter is the first day of the war where Gita was spoken.
Okay, Prabhu. And the Gita, it started from. Yeah, I'm going to have to re-listen to figure out what my confusion is. But thank you.
Sure.
Anyway,
Sure.
thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'd like to go back to Nilachal Chandrika Mataji. Is she there still?
I cannot see her. Hare Krishna, Nilachala Chandrika Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Nilachal Chandrika Mataji, I've shared my screen, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Yes, there is a mention of Yudhishthir having Vatsalya mixed with Sakhya. So this is in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Yudhishthirasya Vatsalyam Prita Sakhyana Chanvit, Pritya Sakhyana Chanvitam. But because it is Anvitam, it is mixed with Sakhyaras. His Vatsalya is mixed with Sakhyaras. And that is the Sankularati that Yudhishthir has. But when it comes to intensity of Sakhyaras, that intensity was highest in Shri Arjuna. Yeah, that is one thing. I long back I had read this, but this somehow skipped my mind. Now I remembered it, so I highlighted this. Thank you.
Thank you,
so much.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, Hare Krishna, Kriparam Prabhu, would you like to go ahead? Hare
Pandavas,
Krishna.
Hari, Parshad Prabhu, and all the Vaisnavas and Vaisnavis. I have one question. For us, like Audiya Vaisnava, is for us the Bhagavad Gita is Shruti because it's the Aramrit of Lord Krishna. But in their general classification, the Bhagavad Gita is Smriti. That's right, or is my false conception?
The Bhagavad Gita is considered as Smriti because it is within the Mahabharata. And Mahabharata is a Smriti. Yet from another perspective, but Bhagavad Gita has come directly from the mouth of Bhagawan. So some people may like to consider it as Shruti. But Shruti or Veda also has other characteristics. For example, Veda has Swara, pitches of recitation, Udatta, Anudatta. So those are not present in the Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is spoken in a single pitch. So some may consider it as Shruti, but the traditional characteristics of a Shruti are not present there. So therefore, it is considered as Smriti mainly by by most of the commentators. And some commentators call it Bhagavad Gita Upanishad. Gita Upanishad. And Upanishad is Shruti. So from that perspective, you can say that Gita Upanishad, since it is called as Upanishad, it is Shruti. But it is not listed within the list of Upanishads that we have. So we have called it Upanishad because it appeared directly from Bhagavan's mouth. So how do we understand that it is Shruti and Smriti simultaneously? So this can be understood by Kuru Pandav Nyaya. Kuru Pandav Nyaya means the Pandavas are Pandavas and at the same time they're also Kauravas because they all came from Kuru. But they also have their own distinct identity. So similarly, the Bhagavad Gita has its own distinct identity and it also belongs to the category of Shruti because it is also categorized as Upanishad by many acharyas. So that is how you can reconcile both of these. Right?
Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I can see one hand raised from Parama Karuna. Mataji, would you like to go
Parampana
ahead?
Prabhu.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu. Paramakarna Prabhu.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
My Prabhu.
Prabhuji, yeah, actually, my question was answered. I should have lowered it, but just my question was on this point about Sakha, and a couple of devotees previously already asked. So my question was like, what is the significance of Bhakto osi mein Sakha cheti? So Bhakta we understand, but Sakha this was kind of there in
Yeah,
my mind for some time. And you summarized, I'll just summarize 2 points that I got from the Q&A. One is that secrets are revealed to a Sakha. And the
right.
second point that you mentioned was that the Lord gave it to him because he has the highest rasa in the battlefield.
Yeah,
And after drinking like a calf, the rest of us get to relish it uh, as well. So it is meant for a highest rasa, even though we are sadhakas or we are trying to aspiring to become devotees or servants, but still we can relish it in that mood like a leftover milk after a calf has drunk. Anything else that I missed or you want to add to this aspect, Prabhuji, please?
actually, from one point of view, Sakhya is the highest ras. It is specified in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that from one point of view, if you see, Sakhya is the highest ras. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in the Western Division, third wave, this is 136. द्वयोर अन्योन्य भावस्य भिन्न जातीयता भवेत्. Let's take other rasas too. For example, in Dasya ras, please tell me, isn't the servant lower and Krishna higher?
Yes, Prabhuji.
In Vatsalya ras, isn't the servant higher and Krishna lower?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And in Madhurya ras, there is inconsistency because sometimes higher, sometimes lower.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But which is the only possible ras where there is absolute equality at all times?
Sakhya, Prabhuji.
Sakhya. So, dvayor अन्योन्य bhavasya bhinna jatiyata. So, there is bhinna jatiyata. And in Sakhya, dvayor api eka jatiya bhav. In Sakhya, there is eka jatiya bhav. There is similarity of the equality. And therefore, Shri Rupa Goswami says, Preyan eva bhavet preyan atah sarva raseshu ayam. Sarva raseshu. Amongst all the rasas, ayam, preyan, this prayaras, this sakhyaras, is preyan, is the dearmost, sweetest. But sakhya samprikta hridayai sadbhir eva anubudhyate. But only those whose hearts are fully drenched in sakhyaras can understand this fact that sakhya is the highest ras. So this is an alternate angle given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That those who are relishers of sakhya ras understand that sakhya is the highest ras. So for this reason, sakhacha eti. Not only Arjuna are you my devotee, but from one point of view, Sakhya is the highest rasity, even higher than the Vatsalya or Dasya of Bhishma or mixed Sakhya, Vatsalya and Dasya of Yudhishthir. So it is higher than that because your Sakhya is of a much more refined and purified, it shouldn't say purified, of much more elaborate nature. So that is what I'd like to add here. I hope that satisfies your query.
Yes, Prabhuji, very wonderful. Thank you for these insights. This is invaluable. So, Prabhuji, just to kind of poke a little more on that, is it that why is it like in a Sakha when you're mentioning that absolute equality at all times? In Bhagavad Gita, that is why Arjuna is a little bit like in some of the times, like in beginning of chapter 1, he says, Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Like, still confused, but you're kind of, you're not clarifying it properly. Why don't you tell me really what, or something in that mood? He's almost challenged.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that where the Sakhya is coming out?
Oh, not only that, in third chapter, he directly He tells Krishna what a servant cannot tell his master. It is right in front of you. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekyam vada nischitya yeno shrehamayo hamakmyami. Please read the translation.
My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me.
Can a
Yes,
disciple tell this to his guru?
exactly. Yeah, no, not at all.
So this is, there is some, of course, a guru is also in one way a sakha. A guru is also, in one way supposed to be a friend of the living entity. We say Shri Guru Param Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janar Bandhu is in one way a friend, a dear one of the disciple. But this particular mood that Arjuna is saying, please tell me truly what is most beneficial for me. This is inquiring in the mood of a friend.
If he was in a dasya, then this level of questioning would not have been possible.
Yeah, of course, there is Sankularati, there is mixture, and Sakya is gaining prominence in.
Wonderful. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sasikala Mataji, would you like to go ahead? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sasikala Mataji. Can you unmute? Okay, now can you try Mataji?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you for wonderful class. My question is quick as I'm a beginner. So, for example, if we are hit in those lowest times in life, facing challenges, I have hardly seen myself crying and opening Bhagavad Gita, like practically. We attend these lectures and I'm understanding the philosophy. Max to max, I might run around taking shelter of the devotees, but crying and immediately like opening Bhagavad Gita hasn't happened practically. Is that the expectation?
No, you don't dig a well when the house is on fire, Mataji, do you? So the Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be read in much in advance. And when the house is on fire, then the principles are supposed to be applied. So Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be internalized first. And when Bhagavad Gita is internalized, at that point of time, when we are in a distressful situation, we don't have to open it every time. It has to be a part of our system. So that is what the Bhagavad Gita is meant for.
Okay, so when we are in, regardless of the situation, we must internalize the philosophy first, and when the time of adversity comes, it has to be like the implementation time, not.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it should be muscle memory. Mataji, does a soldier pick up a gun when the enemy arrives on the gate, or does a soldier learn to shoot a gun much before?
Right. Yes, Prabhu. Right before, way before. Okay.
That's what, same case. All right.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Ananga Mohan Prabhu, would you like to go ahead? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam and Hare Krishna to all the Vaishnavas. Thanks, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class again on Gita, appearance of Gita. Prabhuji, the advent of Gita is celebrated across India and all over the world. So, as you stated that recent Shankaracharyas have established this phenomena. So, there is such Shastric Praman regarding that. Based on that, they have started this trend.
I am not even sure that the recent Shankaracharyas have the reasoning that they have given is they have taken some. It was not even the recent Shankaracharyas. They supported it, but there is some reasoning they have taken from Shastra in order to determine when the battle started, and that reasoning they have taken from Mahabharata. And then that Mahabharata, it is said that this was the nakshatra when the armies arrived. This was the nakshatra on this day. That was the nakshatra on that day. And using many such factors, they have come to a decision that Mokshada Ekadashi was the day that the Gita was spoken. And then based on that Praman, there is no exact statement in the Mahabharata that the battle began on this particular day. But you have to arrive at it by using Anuman and by using various Pramanas and stitch them together to come to that conclusion. But then it again puts you in a difficulty that Bhishma's leaving of body does not tally with that, because the leaving of body is much later. Then you have to do a big athletic exercise to bring both of those dates together. So historically, there are manuals of festivals in India. Nirnay Sindhu, Hari Bhakti Vilas. These manuals don't have this festival.
Thank you so much, Praveen. Prabhuji, one more question can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Prabhuji, I remember that in one of the letters, Prabhupada has mentioned that Srimati Kunti Devi and Sri Arjun was the eternal associate only in the material worlds, not in the Vaikuntha Loka. And we heard that after the Mahabharata was over and Mahaprayan Leela, they went to the Krishna Loka. So whether these Krishna Lokas are the universes where the Krishna Leela is going on, is it like that?
See, the first thing is, when after the Pandavas left this world, the first thing is they went to Swargaloka. That is this Swargarohan Parva. That is what is given in the Mahabharata. So when they went to Swarga, why do we say that they are eternal associates? It is because they are experiencing Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means they are gradually getting out of the material world. This is one form of getting liberated. Just as Gopakumar was gradually rising up, so the Pandavas are also gradually rising up and moving out of the world. So are they eternal associates? In one sense, yes, they are eternal associates, because in the Brihad Bhagavatamritam, there is a mention of Arjun, there is a mention of the Pandavas. I will try to show you in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, and let me point out from Brihad Bhagavatamritam where Arjuna or Pandavas are mentioned. So yeah. So in the Brihad Bhagavatamritam and other literature, it is described that the Pandavas, they were and Arjuna, etc. The presence of these devotees is also shown in the spiritual world. The Bhishma Pitama also attained the abode of Bhagawan. So we cannot have Dwaraka, Hastinapur in the spiritual world without having the Pandavas. So certainly these are eternal associates, but they help Bhagavan in carrying out pastimes within the material world. And Sri Jiva Goswami has said in the Sandarbhas that every associate can have unlimited Prakash Vigrahas. Now, you are aware of the term Prakash Vigraha, Anangan too?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Prakash Vigraha is like a replica. So for so many universes, the pastimes are going on, you need so many replicas of Arjun. So those Prakash Vigrahas may be manifested only for the purpose of a particular Leela in a particular universe. But there is an eternal associate of Bhagavan named Arjun in the spiritual world. That we cannot deny. So that we should definitely accept, that there is a eternal associate of Bhagavan uh, uh, in the spiritual world. And in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, there is a mention of so many instances of Pandavas. I will very quickly, point out. See here, I am sharing my screen. This is the reference which I wanted to give. कदाचित् एष तत्रैव वर्तमानान् अदूरतः पाण्डवान् ईक्षितुं गच्छेत् एकाकी प्रियबान्धवान्. Prabhu, kindly read the translation.
Sometimes the Lord would go alone to visit his dear friends the Pandavas who stayed nearby. Yeah.
So, see here, please read the purport. This is by Gopi Prandan Prabhu.
On earth, the Pandavas lived a good distance away from Dwarka in Hastinapur, so Krishna had to make a long journey to meet them. In Vaikuntha, however, the situation is different. Even if if the residence of the Pandavas is physically distant from Dwarka Puri in the spiritual realm, there are no limitation of time and space. By the power of Lord Desire, any place to which he wishes to travel is at once nearby.
So this verse is speaking about which world, Prabhu?
Spiritual world, definitely.
So then in the spiritual world, there is the presence of the Pandavas. Agreed?
Yes, yes.
So, so Srila Prabhupada may be speaking about a particular Prakash Vigraha of Arjun, but certainly not of the entire Pandavas and of the Arjun who resides in the spiritual world. Right?
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anang Mohan Prabhu, would you like to go ahead? Hare Krishna.
You already asked Mataji, so we'll go with
Okay.
Vishnu Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I have a small doubt. Just now it occurred after you gave one answer. Prabhu, generally now we say Gita is Gita Upanishad, and but some people give this allegation, oh, this is done by some ISKCON people. But we also get it uh, in our acharyas. Many acharyas have wrote, like you have also said, that acharyas also wrote that it is Gita Upanishad. But how this actually term that it is Gita Upanishad came? Is it from some shastra or some mahatmya?
I mean, isn't it in the Pushpika at the end of every chapter, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu? Isn't there? At the end of every
Yes,
chapter,
Prabhu.
doesn't
Yes,
it say
Prabhu.
Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su
Yes,
Upanishadsu?
yes.
Huh? So that is where in the commentaries of the commentators also it has been listed, the Pushpika, the final words of every particular chapter, that they have listed it.
Oh, that was also given by some commentator, if I'm not
But
wrong, right?
it is accepted by the followers of Sri Adi Shankaracharya Sampradaya, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
There nobody has contested it, as far as I know. Nobody has contested the fact that Sri Bhagavad Gita is not an Upanishad. As far as I know, in almost all the commentaries in the Pushpika, in the final statement of every chapter, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu, they say like that. Uh, so, see here. This I will share my screen with you, so that we can have a look. This is from the published works of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, which is published by one of the mutts. So you can see on your screen, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
This is the end of the 12th chapter, and after the 12th chapter ends, you can see what has been written there. Can you read this highlighted word?
Yes, Prabhu. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu
So this is Bhagavad Gita
Brahma
is what?
Vidya.
Upanishad, right?
Yes,
And
Upanishad.
this is, I will also tell you where this was published. This is the works of Sri Adi Shankaracharya Vani Vilas edition. So it is in the original printed works of Adi Shankaracharya.
Yes. But Prabhu, how, like, just a general question, why Gita is said Gita Upanishad? Like, how, I guess you could understand, like,
Why
there are
is it
many other
said?
Gitas also, right? So that is not called Upanishad. So why Gita Upanishad?
Because it has the essential quality of being a Shruti, that it arose from Narayan.
Okay.
It arose from Narayan, then it should be Veda. But which Veda is Gita? But Gita is not found in Rig, Sam, Yajur or Atharva, the existing four Samhitas. But what is not found in the Samhitas is found in the Upanishads. Therefore, categorization of Gita as Upanishad. Some of the Upanishads also don't have swaras, pitch markings.
Yes, yes.
So Gita also doesn't have pitch marking. Therefore, Acharyas have classified it as Upanishad because it has arisen from Bhagawan. Ya Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmad Vinisrita. The same time is it doesn't have any swara marks. It doesn't have any pitch marks, Udat, Anudat, Swarit. So that is how Upanishads are also. Other Upanishads, you say, maybe Isha Upanishad has swara marks. Kathaken, Mundak, Pandukya, Aitareya, Taitareya, Brihadaranya, Chandogya. They don't have any swara marks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Bhaktin Sonam Mataji, would you like to go ahead? Sonam Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, thank you for the class. Prabhuji, my question is, you showed a verse where it mentioned presence of Pandavas in Vaikuntha. So my limited understanding is that in Vaikuntha, it's a mood of awe and reverence, and the Pandavas are in family rasas, vatsalya, etc. So how to reconcile that? They should be in Goloka Vrindavan, right? Not in Vaikuntha.
Mataji, in Golok Vrindavan, there is no Aishwarya Bhav. There is also consideration of Aishwarya and Madhurya. So Aishwarya means that feeling of Bhagawan being Bhagawan is present. You like Devaki and Vasudeva are also parents. But why are Devaki and Vasudeva not in Golok Vrindavan? Why are they in Mathura or Dwaraka? That is because besides considering themselves as parents, they also have the bhavana, the feeling that this is Bhagavan. And Nandan Yashoda, even though they know from time to time that this is Bhagavan, that feeling is immediately suppressed and the feeling that he is our child immediately rises up. So that difference between Priti, that love which has Sankuchit Aishwarya, where the awe and reference becomes very diminished, that is in Goloka Vrindavan. But where Aishwarya becomes manifest, that you are Bhagavan, that is when it cannot be Goloka Vrindavan. That is when it has to be other words. So in Arjun, Pandavas, that feeling that Krishna is Bhagavan is also there. Because didn't Krishna rescue the Pandavas from Durvasa Muni? Didn't Krishna rescue Draupadi from being humiliated? Didn't Krishna rescue the Pandavas from in so many unfavorable situations? They know he is Bhagavan. Yet there is some feeling of being his family member, his friend, etc. And that feeling is along with the feeling of him being Bhagavan. And that feeling of him being Bhagavan becomes prominent from time to time when Bhagavan shows his majesty. But in Goloka Vrindavan, whenever Bhagavan shows his majesty, like he's lifting the Govardhan hill, that feeling is not there. They are not saying Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham. They are not praying to him in that mood of awe and reverence. They're just saying, Arey, our cowherd boy was the best. We will also support him using our sticks. And that Yoga Maya ensures that, although it is difficult for us to understand how it works, but Yoga Maya ensures that his Bhagavatta, his Bhagavanness is not reflected in the mood of the Vrajavasis. That is reflected in the mood of Pandavas, etc. from time to time. So that is the answer to it.
So, Prabhuji, basis this is, is this conclusion correct that in case of Pandavas, although they have Sakhiras, etc., but the awe and reverence is dominating over these rasas because it's a mix. So, how do we understand what is dominating and how is it playing?
Mataji, in Sakhya Ras also there is Vishrambha Sakhya and Sambram Sakhya. Sambram is that which is mixed with fear, awe, reverence. That is Sambram Sakhya. Vishrambha Sakhya is that is which is free from all those tendencies. Hindi we say जहाँ दोस्त को गाली दे सके. That is that confidence where you can give an abusive term to your friend. That confidence is not there outside Vrindavan. Arjuna is a friend. Sugriv is a friend of Bhagawan Ram. But they know their limits. In Vrindavan also they are friends. But Gali Galoch is common. It is. Sri Jiva Goswami says on Holi, there is Gali. Without Gali, there is no Holi in Vrindavan. In Gopal Champu, he has described. So that is what you call Vishrambha Satya. That is the purest variety of Satya, where no inhibitions are there. But here there are some inhibitions. So.
Okay, Prabhu, that was beautiful. And Prabhuji, you also mentioned about in response to another question, you said characteristics of Smriti. So, Prabhuji, if you can just briefly explain Smriti and Shruti, because that's not clear to me, like where Gita falls.
Shruti refers to the original four Vedas, Brahman Granthas. The original four Vedas mainly, Rik, Sam, Yajur and Atharva, which arose from the breathing of Bhagwan Narayan at the beginning of the creation. The four Vedas also have Swara. Swara means pitch, Udatta, high tone, Anudatta, low tone, etc. So, Smriti is recollection of the sages from what they have learned through the Veda. So that is Smriti. So recollections or realizations of the sages are known as Smriti. The word Shruti means direct hearing. The word Smriti means recollection. Smritis are recollections of the sages, and Smritis give rules for day-to-day life, how to function in human life, various topics Smritis touch upon. But Shrutis are direct words of Bhagawan which arose at the time of creation, which were given within the heart of Shri Brahma. So this is mentioned in the first verse of the Bhagavatam. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaya. What was given, what was manifested through the heart of Brahma was Shruti. And then what Shri Brahma reflected upon and wrote down, there began Smriti. So Smriti is reflection by the sages after they have heard the Vedas. And Shruti is the direct emanations from the body of Shri Bhagavan. So that is between Shruti and Smriti. Mahabharata is reflection by Shri Vyasadeva. Because Shri Vyasadeva composed Mahabharata. Mahabharata was not in the beginning of the creation. Shri Vyasadeva composed Mahabharata. So anything which did not come at the beginning of the creation is not Shruti. It is categorized as Smriti. But since Bhagavan personally spoke inside it in the Bhagavad Gita, therefore some individuals like to say that Bhagavad Gita is as good as Shruti. So that is what was being talked about. Right?
And Prabhuji, like Srimad Bhagavatam, so there Shukadev Goswami is talking, Suta Goswami is talking. So how do we understand Srimad Bhagavatam in this context?
Srimad Bhagavatam, because the Bhagavatam says that Itihas and Puran, they are Pancham Ved. Pancham Ved means they are fifth Veda. They have the characteristics of Shruti, the characteristics. They don't have all the characteristics of the Veda. But still they are considered on the level of Shruti. Although not Shruti, they are considered on the level of Shruti. Because the Bhagavatam says Panchama Veda, that it is the fifth Veda. But originally Shruti four Vedas, Rik, Sam, Yajur. The supplementary is Atharva. And into Itihas and Puran by Shri Vyasadeva. although it is considered on par with Shruti, but it is technically a Smriti. It is technically, if you see, it does not have the swara, the pitch marks. It does not have and it does not, Smriti also doesn't require you to be a Brahmana to understand it. Shruti requires you to be a Brahmana to understand it. You need to be born in a Brahmin family to be able to understand, study the Shrutis. But Smriti doesn't require you to be born in a Brahmin family. So that is what Bhagavatam can be understood by anybody born in any family. Rig, Sam, Yajur, Ved cannot be understood by anybody born in any family. There are some restrictions upon it. So there are some differences between Shruti and Smriti, but Smriti is considered as this Bhagavatam is considered as good as the four Vedas. So Shri Jiva Goswami gives a logic there, Brahman Parivrajak Nyaya. What is Brahman Pari? Same as Kuru Pandav Nyaya. Kuru Pandav Nyaya. Pandavas are Kauravas, yet they have their own distinct characteristics. So Bhagavatam is Veda, yet it has its own distinct characteristics. This is Kuru Pandav Nyaya. Pandavas are Kauravas, but are Kauravas Pandavas?
No.
Do you agree?
Prabhuji, Kauravas are not Pandavas.
But Pandavas are, is it so?
Because in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned Kuru dynasty.
So all of Pandavas also, Kauravas also belong. So Pandavas, Kauravas. Isn't it so?
Prabhuji, sorry, your voice is cutting. Is it only for me or for everyone? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's from your network, but Pandavas are Kauravas. They belong to Kuru dynasty. Isn't it so?
Yes.
Yes. But are Kauravas Pandavas?
Prabhuji, no. I don't know. I'm confused.
No. Were Kauravas born from Pandu?
No.
No. So are Kauravas Pandavas?
No.
No. So Bhagavatam is, but are the four Vedas Bhagavatam? I hope you are able
No.
to understand. Kuru Pandav Nyaya. So that way.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees. So we have a hard stop now at 1:15. So maybe we'll take these two last questions. And I request everybody to please keep your questions very short. Prabhuji's time is also valuable. He's been very merciful that he said that he has all time for us, but still we have to value everybody's time. So please keep your questions very short. At 1:15, we'll keep a hard stop. So yes, Nishchala Chandrika Mataji, you can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
This is regarding Anang Mohan Prabhu's question about the Pandavas. We understand that there is combined anshas of each personality. So is it like Yudhishthir was Yamraj? So his ansh of Yamraj went to the heavenly planets and the Parshad went to Vaikunt? Is it like that?
No, we cannot say that way, because if did Yamraj did Dharmaraj appear fully as Yudhishthir or partially as Yudhishthir?
Partially.
So what part of Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj and what part of Yudhishthir isn't Dharmaraj? Yeah. So the Devatas, when in entire Krishna Lila, the Devatas, the living entities who are eternal associates of Shri Krishna.
So they did not like go in their own places back again when there is a combined ansh?
Gave a small portion of themselves of that particular associate of Bhagawan. In the 10th canto, when Shri Brahma approaches Bhagawan, that the entire with Mother Earth, then Bhagawan says that all of you, along with your amshas, you please take birth. I will I will very quickly point out. The Sri Brahmaji was saying to the Devatas that you please all take birth as yes, I'm sharing my screen. See here, Mataji. Puraiva pumsava dhrito dhara jvaro bhavatbhir amshair yadushupajayantam
Yeah.
janyatam. So, so please see what he says.
All of you demigods should appear through plenary portions as sons and grandsons in the family of the Yadus.
So all these
Yeah, so-
Yadu, Pandavas, etc., they were amshas of Devatas. But which
Yeah, they were
amsha? The body or the living entity? Which
living
amsha?
entity.
The living entity is eternal associate of Bhagawan.
Yeah,
I hope you're
I
able
got
to
it.
understand.
Yeah, I got it.
Living entities coming with Bhagawan. The living entities are traveling with Bhagawan. So which amsha is given by the Devatas?
The body.
So that is what it is.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Rose. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Gail Mataji, would you like to go ahead? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, I'd just like to revisit this topic of the sakas being the highest rasa. I'm still trying to reconcile that with the conjugal rasa. I know you did say that with the conjugal rasa, the rasa is like not consistent, whereas with the sakya, the equality is consistent with sakya, but not so with the conjugal madhurya. So, but can you just reconcile that for me a little more clearly?
That is reconciled in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I will share my view. The Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Madhya Lila 0.83. Kintu yar yai ras sai sarvot Mataji, you only read the translation.
Okay. It is true that whatever relationship a particular devotee has with the Lord is the best for him. Still, when we study all the different methods from a neutral position, we can understand that there are higher and lower degrees of love.
All right. When at that time, Rupa Goswami had
your
those
voice
who are
is breaking a little bit. Okay.
yeah. When I said that Sakhya Ras is the highest, Swami said it is the dearest. He said from the point of view of those who are experiencing Sakhya Ras, isn't it?
Yes.
So that is what is being said here.
Yeah. So, but when you were explaining this, it sounded more like you were saying that from an absolute, platform that,
Mataji, there's if see what you say an absolute platform,
like
I understand.
Without any kind of, qualification,
Yeah. So at the same time, there is meaning to that statement when Rupa Goswami also says that there is reason for Sakhya from the even from the absolute point of view, absolute equality is only in Sakhyaras, isn't it?
Yeah.
So from that point of view, Sakhya is the highest.
Okay, so therefore, to say that Sakya Ras is the highest depends upon the perspective from which the person is speaking, no?
Yes, but if you take certain aspects, certain rasas come out higher. I will give you another example. Mataji, which form of Bhagawan is the highest?
The form where he is the son of Nanda Maharaj.
From which aspect? In the aspect of killing Kshatriyas 21 times, which form of Bhagawan is the highest?
Yeah, I don't understand the question.
In the aspect of killing the Kshatriyas 21 times,
Yeah.
which form of Bhagawan is the highest?
Well, the one who did that is Parashuram, no?
The full?
Huh?
Yeah. So when you aspect the angle of looking, different will come out.
Oh my God, your
In the
voice is breaking. Oh.
Mataji, voice clearly?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Actually, it is breaking, Prabhu. I think
Okay.
some network
Now,
is.
now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So when we change the criteria, different forms will come out on the top. But from the criteria of Ras, Krishna comes out the highest. Sri Rupa Goswami has specifically said in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu that we say Krishna is the highest from the point of view of Rasa. In deluding the atheists, which form is the highest? Mataji, please tell me.
Maybe his impersonal aspect, but they don't even believe. So.
Buddha. Right. So when we change the criteria, you will get a different answer. Sri Rupa Goswami changed the criteria and said, when it comes to absolute equality between the devotee and Bhagawan, Sakhyara stands out as the highest.
Okay.
But when it comes to intensity of ecstasy, Madhurya stands out highest.
Okay, so again, it's according to perspective.
Right. So that what you say absolute perspective, there is no such absolute means from the point of view of joy. Sri Rupa Goswami has said from the point of view of development of prema, Rupa Goswami has said that Madhurya is the highest. But you take another point of view, other rasas will come out the highest. That is the reason why different devotees stick to their respective rasas. That is the reason why every devotee feels my rasa is the highest.
Yeah. And when you asked me, the one who killed the 21 Kshatriyas, who was the highest there? What did that question mean, actually?
If you say Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, isn't it? But what is the criteria you are using to call him supreme personality of Godhead?
The one with whom we can have the most intimacy.
Rasa is the criteria, isn't it?
Yeah.
You change the criteria. If somebody's criteria is the supreme personality of Godhead, he's he who always speaks the truth, always walks on the path of dharma, only marries once, then which form will come out as the highest?
Lord Ram.
So then that is what is being said. But because we followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu believe in Ras as our central guiding principle, therefore from the point of view of Ras, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Again, point of view.
So, Sri Rupa Goswami, I will also quote the verse by Sri Rupa Goswami because it's very important to understand. It's not coming from my own personal imagination.
Because you did say it's also not just point of view, it's also from an absolute perspective.
Because the point of view of rasa is actually an absolute perspective. Everybody wants rasa. So rasa is a neutral point of view. So from the neutral point of view of rasa, Madhurya is the highest. Here is Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-59. Siddhanta tastu abhedepi. In Siddhanta, in conclusion, there is non-difference between Shrisha, Narayan and Krishna. In Siddhanta, there is non-difference.
Right.
But rasena utkrishyate Krishna rupam. But Krishna's form stands out highest from the point of view of rasa. Rasena utkrishyate. It stands out highest. Which form? Krishna rupam. Esha rasa sthiti. What can I do? Rupa Goswami said. This is how rasa is situated. So the angle of vision which we have taken is rasa. And from the rasa, which is a neutral point of view, Krishna's form stands out the highest. But if you take the angle of view of killing Kshatriyas 21 times, Parshuram's form may stand out as the highest, but that angle is not a neutral angle. That angle will only appeal to those who are interested in Veera Rasa. But the neutral angle of Rasa, if you see, Krishna's form stands out as highest.
And we call that neutral because everybody wants rasa.
Yes, raso vaisaha. Rasam hi eva labdhva anandi bhavati. That only every living entity wants rasa. Bhagawan is the personification of rasa. So from that point of view, Krishna stands out highest.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very, very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Prabhuji, I can see one hand raised from Praladananda Prabhu, but Mataji has announced that we have to stop, Prabhu. So Praladananda Prabhu, is it okay? Sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah. Is Kirtida Sundari Mataji there or she has left?
Mataji has some work, she said, Prabhu. So Mataji.
Right, all right. Sure. So you decide, Mataji. It's up to you.
Okay. Is it okay, Prabhu? Can we, with your permission, can we stop here, Prabhu? Oh.
You're asking me or Praladhan?
Yes, Prabhu. No, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu. You both can say, Prabhu. Sorry. Actually, Mataji has already declared. So is it okay? Can we stop here, Prabhu?
Yeah, you'll have to ask Praladhan, Prabhu. He's the one who's asking the question.
Hare Krishna, Praladnanda Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, I have to. Okay.
Hear me?
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Mataji, I'm not going to take. I don't have a question. I just wanted to express my great gratitude to Prabhuji that he is such an erudite scholar, and I wanted him to sing the Prabhupada Saraswati's Vansi Vibhushat Karan Nirda Vitambara Darun Bing Faradarosta. That's the conclusion of all this whole discourse today. It's written that very beautiful that he doesn't know anyone above Lord Sri Krishna. That's what he says in that slok. Thank you very much, Mata. And Prabhu, very good.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much. This is Ajay Govindas here, speaking on behalf of Kirtida Sundari Dasi. Prabhuji, there's just last question in the chat. If you can briefly address that. And we apologize in the interest of time for everyone. We will not be able to take any other questions after this. So we'll end after that. But Prabhuji, just last question in the chat if you want to comment on that.
Sure. There are many queries. What is which question?
The last one says that is there an arthavad in glories of Ekadashi? Like when devotees say that if one eats grain on Ekadashi day, then he gets results of sinful activities which he has not committed. I just want to know your thoughts or Shastra's thoughts on this.
There is no arthavad in this. Arthavad, in general, the acharyas have said that one should not try to find arthavad in limbs of bhakti. Ekadashi is a limb of bhakti. In general, one should not try to look from this angle. When Puranas or Shastras say that, one gets results of sinful activities which he has not committed also, if they eat grains on Ekadashi, the statement should be taken as literal truth. But whether it will happen in everybody's life or it will not happen in everybody's life, Bhagawan will decide that. But certainly we cannot say that it is arthavad, because arthavad is clear exaggeration. But this is not a clear exaggeration. In some cases, Bhagawan may decide to give. Some cases, Bhagawan may not decide to give. So, arthavad is always clear exaggeration. But this, Bhagawan may decide to do or Bhagawan may not decide to do. So, it is not the case of being a clear exaggeration. That is the answer to the query.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And at this time, I think we'll take a pause here, Prabhu. Thank you so much for value time. It's too late for you. I understand that, but again, appreciate your time and valuable inputs in terms of the realization on the Bhagavad Gita and aspects of Lord with it. So, dear devotees, thank you so much on this Ekadashi day, taking time out. We will end the call here. In the chat, I was looking at that. There was some accolades and appreciations for the nice class, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Vasha, Kripa Sindhuva Evacha, Patita Nam Bhagavad Vaishnave Namo Sant Koti Vaishnav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Parshad Prabhu ki jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Here, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Jai Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Jai Srila
Thank you,
Prabhupada. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada.